Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back with some more NTW3 for you today, and this is the Battle of Salamanca, famously one of Wellington's greatest victories in the Peninsular War. Fought in 1812, this was a decisive victory for Wellington, and it was actually one of the first battles as well where he takes the offensive against the French. Often he defended on a massive hill, and in history he attacks and actually surprises the French army with how quickly he defeats the French army. He famously is quoted defeating an army of 40,000 in 40 minutes. But yes, we are here with another glorious historical battle for you today, and hopefully we may see a British victory again. Being a Brit myself, I'd like to see Napoleon's Eagles sent running. But yeah, I don't know. We may see a different scenario. We may see like Wellington get defeated. We actually have a lot of Portuguese, it seems, setting up here. Still, obviously, so basically I found out that this is not a bug, this unit thing. It's just basically a new feature that NTW3 put in. I'm not really a big fan of it, certainly for replays. Can't like tell what units are what. I can tell from the uniforms that these are Portuguese though. And we have the French. We can look at the French units here today though. We can look at what they are. So we are seeing it from a French perspective. Which is obviously going to be nice. Going to see some different units. But yeah, we have Massena here today. I mean, it wasn't actually Massena in history. We do have his army of Portugal here. It was actually Marmont who was at this battle, and actually was injured like at the very start of this battle. He takes a cannonball basically to... Oh, we have zoomed through the map. I do apologize. We had Marmont. Marmont was... I need to remember that's not a thing now. I can't just click all the way across the map. Because you go and hide under them. We have English troops that are chasing after some French hussars, which are actually going to rush and try and take this gun out. I don't know how big the gun is. It's going to get taken out, or try to be taken out, but we have light dragoons here that are trying to save it. It looks like they've got one of the gun crews, but they got the cavalry as well. And here we go, already the French moving forward. It seems like the Allies are going to be defensive again. But yeah, Marmont actually was injured at the very beginning of this battle. And then, I can't remember who the command passes to, off the top of my head, but he gets injured as well within moments, by another cannonball. And then it's then quite a bit of time passes, and then, General Clausel, I think his name is, gets, handed command, and he, is third in command, and he, obviously takes command. And I guess, maybe if, Marmont hadn't been injured, maybe you would have seen a different scenario. It would have been hard to say. Like this right flank, which he was quite concerned about, kind of overextending, and he was going to go and rectify that, and he gets hit by a cannonball. He does survive. He does indeed. He has like 2 broken ribs and loses an arm, but you know, apart from that, he was in tip-top condition. But yeah, couldn't continue to fight. But yeah, we have the French here dueling already with the Portuguese, it would seem, on this side. I'm guessing from the dark blue and brown uniforms, and they are all Portuguese. But we have Laguerre here, firing away. But if you're enjoying seeing NTW3 on the channel, and would like to see some more historical battles, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. We have the Portuguese in a big old square here. And we already have French broken, look at that. 31st Laguerre gone. The Portuguese are more than a match for the French, you would see. I mean, certainly these, the Laguerre, I would have thought here, these guys are light infantry. They can fire from further back. I don't know why they needed to get so close to shoot these line infantry. Or at least they used to be able to shoot further back. More Portuguese coming up over here. A lot of Portuguese. Maybe this is an entire Portuguese army? It looks it, to be fair. I mean, they're not. They're definitely rifles, British rifles. But yeah, apart from... Oh, this is heavy dragoons here. Apart from cavalry, I've not actually seen any British infantry yet. Well, I haven't actually been to this end of the line. This end of the line is all British. Look at that, the redcoats are here. The heroes of the Peninsular War. We've got an artillery piece nicely up here as well. I don't know exactly... I would say it's a 9-pounder, I would have thought. That might be 6. But yeah, it seems like Britain over here taking a lot more passive. Though we are going to see a charge here. This looks like some light dragoons. They're going to rush this gun. And they are going to abandon the gun of the French. Probably the smart move. Are they going to form up the line infantry? They are going to form square. and they'll repel this cavalry. There you go, boys. Now we've got French dragoons coming in, and they're going to help try and clear them up. Oh, look at that, the cavalry's rushing into all these columns here. And they can't all form square, but they have been routed, so it doesn't really matter. And there you go. What else we got over here? We've got a lot of light dragoons, obviously. It's kind of like the staple of like the British Army. That and heavy dragoons. Or dragoon guards, I should say, not heavy dragoons. Dragoon guards. It seems like the Portuguese, after their initial success, decided to fall back. I mean, I feel like over here they did a lot of damage to the French. You can see, and they routed a unit. Over here, maybe the Portuguese took a bit more of a pounding. Hard to say. I mean, certainly this like mass light infantry are doing pretty well. Demi Brigade. That's a cool name. Never seen that before. But yeah, it's nice to have actually like a. I don't know if Massena's Portugal like army was actually in 8.9, but it's in 9.0, which is great. I actually can't remember, but obviously this is Massena's Portugal is what was in like 1809, 1810. Marmont takes over in I think 1811, maybe 1812. I can't remember exactly what date, but obviously he's at Salamanca. It's not actually Massena. Massena's elsewhere at that point. But we've got cavalry coming forward here. We've got light dragoons, and obviously there's dragoon guards, or at least they're dragoons. They may be dragoon guards. I'm gonna say they're probably dragoon guards because that's more than like that's what served in the Peninsula War. Actually, like I'm currently studying the Battle of Salamanca, so this is great that I'm doing this battle. I felt like it was very apt to be doing it right now. I could tell you quite a lot about what happens in this battle, to be honest. But yeah, it's massively a decisive defeat for the French in history. It costs them Madrid. They lose Madrid, and like the French army is pushed all the way back to Valencia, which if you know where Salamanca and Valencia are, if you know your Spanish geography, you know that's a long, long way. But yeah, that Chasseur Cheval did nothing. It just kind of just ran past the square and got shot. Look how big the Portuguese make their squares. There's like so much hollow ground in the middle. I don't know if that's really necessary. Like in comparison to the British one there, look at that. Nice, tight knit. The Portuguese make a huge square. What cavalry got coming up here? I'm going to have to zoom in to look at what cavalry. More light dragoons. Big light dragoon units. I just realized, like, they didn't used to be this big. Well, I don't remember them being this big. They might be Portuguese. This might be Portuguese cav. I think, actually. That might be. Look at these big Portuguese units here, though. And they're going to have to duel with the French. Yeah, it looks like the British are going to take the defensive in this one, even though historically they were actually the aggressors. Which makes a change for sure. I mean, this is supposed to be like the Arab Isles. I'm definitely butchering that name, which is like the Greater Arab Isles anyway, where the French held their position. So they actually had the higher ground. This is like the lower Arab Isles over here, and they kind of rush down to the British. But instead, it's going to be the French rushing up, and they're going to send some dragoons up, and they're going to duel out with the light dragoons here. Actually, no, they're hussars. These are hussars, British hussars. That'll be tough to beat. Oh, I love the uniform. Look at the uniforms. They look awesome. They really do. British hussars are such a good-looking unit. Like their bearskin hats are amazing. These are the light dragoons. Yeah, those dragoons there routed. What have we got coming up here? This looks like bigger, not heavier though. This is all still dragoons. I don't think there is anything too heavy. Cuirassiers and things like that. Oh gosh, cuirassiers and things like that didn't really serve in the Peninsula campaign. I do apologize. Like zooming through the map is so annoying. I forget that's a thing. They need to patch that. I don't know if it's just because of new maps and stuff. But yeah, they could do a patching that. You could like just go. I can just go, whoa, look at that. We can see underneath. We can see all the sea that was beneath Spain. But we've got a, look at this. I mean, this, Britain's let the Chasseur Cheval just sneak through, and it's going to take out 2 gun positions here. Or at least it looks like it's going to try. Britain's sending over a massive cab, but it's not going to reach it in time. We've got light dragoon. Yeah, just a lot of light dragoons. Why are they on low morale? Like, why? It's just some artillery crew. Maybe they can just see the cavalry. Actually, no, they are going to make it. The cavalry's actually they're going to save 1 crew. I guess one's better than none. There you go. They took that out. Yeah, I mean, the French kind of standing off for that. It seems like Neither side really wants to be too aggressive, though. France is now moving up his centre. And here we go, yeah. Got some Portuguese infantry defending this tree line. Go on, boys. You've liberated your country, now you have to help liberate Spain. Imagine. The Spanish would never be able to accept that they've been saved by their little Iberian brother. There we go, the French. They want to retake Portugal. But yeah, at Salamanca, there's only one division of the French that actually managed to get out unscathed. All the rest were absolutely battered. And that division was General Foy's. You guys are gonna get a history lesson for this one. I just know too much about this battle that you're not getting away with learning something. Here we've got a line infantry coming up here. I mean, before in like 8.9 and all the versions before that, I'd say French infantry beats Portuguese, but apparently French infantry's been debuffed. Like the French have been debuffed quite heavily. Like Guard, like apparently in like the last battle which I showed you, which was like Quatre Bras. If you haven't checked that one, I recommend you go and do so. The Guard are in it. Apparently the Guard have been debuffed massively. Like they're almost like they're on par with British infantry now. So it's like the French have had a massive debuff, which I mean it makes French harder to play, which is good because the French should be hard to play. They shouldn't be just be like certainly against the British, like the British especially. Like they were the ones that could beat the French. Like they beat the French quite often on like land battles. I know someone like there's someone that says, oh, like the Austrians like fought the French in like over 100 battles. I forgot who it was in the comments said a few weeks ago. Said, oh, so like the Austrians actually won the majority of their battles against the French in the Napoleonic Wars. Yeah, maybe they did, but they didn't win any decisive ones. They didn't win like oh god, the French being forced back again here. Look at this. They didn't win anything like Ulm. They didn't win Wagram. Aspern, you could say, is almost a draw. Austerlitz, obviously they lost. They lost all the big ones. That's the main thing. You can win 100 small battles, but if you lose 5 or 6 big ones, that's the major thing. Like the French did that. The French had, like in the Peninsula War, lost all the big battles, well, most of it anyway. Portuguese cav coming forward here. Is just going to rush into the silence. Look, the French trying to... It was a very bold assault, to be honest, I thought. I know it's Portuguese infantry, but still. And they are taking... Like, morale for the French is pretty rough. I mean, they are storming a hill, I guess. That maybe has something to do with it. There is a lot of British cav back here. Well, British and Portuguese. But look at this. The French have taken this hill. This is huge. And we've got riflemen here trying to do their best. Gives me... sharp vibes. Oh, it's actually, look at the officer. Actually kind of looks a bit like Sean B. Ah, no, maybe not. I take it back. Look how close these riflemen are. You couldn't miss now. I mean, they do take a while to reload. Are the French just fire? I mean, how the French are missing these riflemen? Maybe they're not shooting them because they're knelt down. We actually have British infantry over here now, which is good to see. Someone was saying in the... oh, we have a huge cavalry charge here. Look at this. Dragoons really pushing forward. Taking out... Well, the Hussars are back in there. Light Dragoons have been routed. These Dragoon Guards are in here. I'm sure they're going to beat the French Dragoons. Yeah, the French Dragoons have been repulsed once again. We are going to see Chasseur Cheval maybe come forward, though. But yeah, like, as someone was saying in one of the previous videos, I think it might be the Quatre Bras video again, they were saying, imagine if like units had bands, and so you'd have like a band in the battles. That'd be awesome. Imagine having like a drummer or a trumpeter like playing away as the battle goes on. That'd be awesome. But yeah, the French actually, even though they got the high ground, didn't push back. The morale is getting absolutely beat. They are having a really rough time. They're over here. The Laguerres is kind of waiting patiently. Honestly, I don't know what this army's doing here, but this army needs to be aggressive as hell. It needs to like, I don't know what's here exactly for the British, because I can't see because of line of sight and stuff. I'd just be aggressive. Like your allies right now are really, really struggling. They're facing like almost an entire wall of British infantry. British and Portuguese anyway. They're in a rough time. Portugal over here is doing actually a really good job against the French. So that is really good to see. Yeah, there you go. The French force back. I mean, look at that. They held this hill as well, and like the British have sort of made a kill box almost. You can sort of see they're firing from the flank here into like anything that like came up the side of the hill, anything that came on the front, and the left has kind of been covered as well. Yeah, British infantry over here will be a huge extra help to the Portuguese. I don't exactly know where this British army started. I mean, it may have spawned quite a long way back and had to march forward, but it has now arrived. And yeah, now that there's British infantry, I mean, this also just kind of cements their position. It's really good. Portuguese artillery doing God's work. It's got a really nice actually angle. Look at that, can just fire down onto anything really if the French is right there. But if you're enjoying seeing NTW3 and you'd actually like to get involved in some NTW3 battles, you're like, you know what, I want to give this mod a try. That shot way up, that missed way off. That was shooting at routing troops. Yeah, if you like to get involved in some battles, then feel free to join the Discord, my Discord, which is in the link down below in the description. There is a huge NTW3 community there, and we have actually got another separate exclusive Discord, which is where most of the battles are organised. But yeah, if you get involved in either of the Discords, then you will you'll be able to get plenty of NTW3 games for sure. Yeah, where is the French really going? Are they just like they're retreating to their own separate hill here? I guess maybe. The British look like they're about to reclaim it, or the Portuguese are. Yeah, it seems like, well, oh, did the British go forward for a charge? Looks like they did, and they're going to come back for seconds. Did they give up on trying to go for this 8-pounder? Looks like they did. The crew's definitely not on it. Here they go, yep. They're gonna have to retreat again. Get out of there, boys. Get out of there. The cavalry's coming, and there you go, light dragoon's broken. That's big. We've got a general all the way back here. I'm presuming this is, yeah, this is Wellington himself. You can tell because of his jacket. He looks exactly like he did in history. Definitely that's how he looked. But yeah, try and take Wellington out. I mean, that might help with morale. But yeah, this is where all the action seems to be happening. It seems like that right flank for the French, or left flank for the French, right flank of the British. Not really a lot going on. They're just not interested. This is a relatively big cavalry unit. More dragoons. I haven't really seen any French cav go after infantry yet, and I'd kind of like to see how that does. It seems that like cavalry's been, the French cav so far has been quite well countered by the British. But it seems like yeah, a bit of a quiet period of the battle now. I'm just gonna, well, I say that there's a few skirmishes going on here and there, like a few, but not too many. Oh, I can hear a charge now though. Here we go. More light dragoons are going to come down and try and get this 4-pounder. Oh, the dragoons, we got Chasseur Cheval going forward. I don't think they're going to be able to stop them in time. Yeah, there you go. Light dragoons. I mean, they've been routed, but I'm sure they routed the French artillery. They did. And you can see we now have more cavalry come down. What's this? This is the Hussars. British Hussars are back. These Hussars, man, are insane. They just routed that Chasseur. They have now been routed, finally. But they've taken at least 2 or 3 French cavalry units down with them. And that's kind of like reignited some line battles here. Grenadiers of the line. They're having a few shots up there. The Portuguese are firing back down as well. So, I mean, both sides, I think, trying to just get some shots off at the cavalry. But, yeah. I mean, that's good to see that, like, both sides are still trying to, like, you know, work what's, like, everyone's weaknesses are. I certainly can see where the French are weak. Obviously, it's hard to see with the British at line of sight where they are weak, but like I said, I think it's way off over here somewhere. Like, where this French army is, this is a large portion of the French army. It's, well, exactly about 1/4. This being a 4v4, it's about 1/4, and I don't know if the British have actually got 1/4 of their army in front of them. Oh god, we did the old zoom in. I hate this thing. I hate this. This is the thing. And now I've got to go all the way back over here. I do apologize. But it seems like as well that the line battle has started over here. I really hate that I can't like just click over there. It's such an annoying feature. Now, but here we go. We are back. And we have Portuguese infantry. Portuguese infantry doing their bit.
Yes, sir.
This mod looks amazing. I mean, the Napoleon I still think looks pretty nice. For its age, it looks great. What's it, like a 10, 11-year-old game now? It's still like, I'm so happy that it's got a large player base. And also that it look like, with NTW3 on top, it makes it look really, really nice. These Laguerre though, I mean, they're having an absolute rough old time. And it's annoying that I can't see how many casualties the Portuguese are taking. Like, it is a bit annoying. These Portuguese Caçadores, I guess, because they're in ground. More Portuguese going forward. I imagine they're just trying to use all the Portuguese. Oh, big fight over here. Look at this. The French have actually broken through. They've broken through with some cavalry. They've got dragoons here. I mean, they are like being forced by light dragoons here as well. We're seeing a lot of cavalry now being committed in. This could be huge. I mean, the British are now obviously trying to use some infantry. They're going to try and shoot to the flanks. But, I mean, the French kind of getting broken here. These light dragoons, you know, man, they're actually pretty nasty. Light dragoons should be being beaten by normal dragoons. It's literally in the name. They're light. They get beaten, but they've beaten out all the French here. Look at that. They've killed off, what, 3 dragoon units? That one might return 53. But, yeah, I mean, they've done well. More dragoons, like light dragoons. Oh, no, these are hussars as well. And they're making sure these chasseurs break properly. Not a bad idea, to be fair. You don't want light cavalry just returning and spawning behind you a little bit. It's very annoying. I'm sure it is, anyway. But yeah, France over here is still really struggling. Look at this. And this is all Portuguese infantry. Like, I can't reinforce enough that, like, the French are struggling against the Portuguese. What are they going to do when they face the British?
The entire unit is dead, sir.
But honestly, I also think the French are just being a little bit unimaginative. They're going forward with their infantry, like they go forward with their infantry, get shot up a bit, retreat, and then just come back and do it again. Need to maybe think about trying to do some flanks, try and turn this British position. They've got to maybe think about maybe sending forward cavalry with their infantry. They've got like dragoons back here that are waiting to do something. They've got a small dragoon unit here. You got to think. I mean, you can't see which units obviously can form square and stuff, but you got to think, what can we do to change this? Like, they're doing the same thing every single time, and they're just going forwards, getting beaten up a bit, and then retreat. Oh, that unit's just broken. I mean, that's good. I mean, look how few men it has left. Like, Portuguese units usually break at like a lot more than that. They used to anyway. Now it's a whole different story. I mean, this one. Oh, this is a gun, actually. That's broken. Fair enough. But again, I'm still very perplexed as to what this French army is going to do. Currently, right now, I mean, maybe there is a British army ahead of them. There are guns ahead of them. I mean, I guess they're tying down the entire British army, but it's quite a cost to their own team. Yeah, there's definitely a British army over here. Here comes the infantry. There they are. Fighting for king and country. I guess this guy's got a drummer. You know what? That's a bit of a band. Like, some pipes would be nice. You know, we can go with just a gunner. Says chasseurs here. I mean, look at this. They found the entire British army really now. Here we go. Yeah, lines of British infantry. Maybe they can't see the French. I don't know. I mean, this unit here, this chasseur, they could just maybe take out these British infantry. This British infantry pretty isolated, actually. Like, they've sent forward some units here and there, but they've kept a large portion of their troops back on that hill. Here we go. Hussars rushing forward. They're going to try and take out these chasseurs cheval. yeah, look at this. There's actually a lot of British infantry here. And the cavalry could rear charge them. I mean, they're going to form square, but they could have rear charged them. Here we go. Fire some shots off into them. Or maybe not. Maybe they're saving ammo. They're like, we're short on ammo already, boys. We've not even seen any action, but we're short on ammo. And the French, by the way, making another offensive over here. It seems like Portugal's sort of retreating, but
Our men are running, sir.
to the center. He's kind of giving up this tree line. I'm not sure. So these units up here on this hill need to get beaten. They're really big Portuguese units. Really, really big. And they're doing a lot of damage to everything that the French throw at them. Here, cavalry charging. Where's it's going? It's a small dragoon unit. And it's running back down the hill. It's these squares form. And here come the heavy dragoons. The dragoon guards are in here, boys. And there you go, they broke them. That was easy. Those dragoon guards are going to be good. They could just do so much damage. You can see here these two like demi brigades getting absolutely like ripped to shreds. I mean, well, that Portuguese unit there is not feeling so hot, but I mean the French are looking so great themselves. In that capacity. Over here, looks like we are about to see the battle unfold. We have seen it unfold a little bit.
Must rest a while.
I believe this is where Johnny's playing, as the person said in this replay. So I'm expecting great things from him. He's a veteran in NTW3, so I'm expecting to see great work being done. At least I think he was out on this left-hand side. I'm expecting to see great things. He's been patient, and now he's going to have to go forward. And it looks like we're seeing a lot of French as well shift this way. Look at this. What we got here? Grenadiers, the line, the Guerre. Just a lot of like line infantry as well. And they're all shifting this way. I mean, the British are kind of bringing up troops as well to commit to face them. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. And the British retaking their hill. This is very unlike Wellington though, leaving your troops out in the open to be hit by artillery. He made sure to hide all of his artillery. But here we go. Yep. I mean, the battle's kind of shifted. They're no longer fighting in that tree line. But they're fighting over here still. But Grenadiers the line in the front line. Wonder whether these guys being committed in a charge would be a good idea, a way to break through. Something like a Grenadier charge could be the answer. I mean, there's no infantry here by the looks of it. We can't see any. So I mean, if the French push forward in mass here on the right, I don't know, there might still be. If they push forward, I mean, they could also just push down this road. Like the French. I mean, roads in NTW3, I believe, still make you move quicker. Push down this road, split anything that's still in this forest from the main army, but there might not be anything here. If so, the French just push right round. Looking like the French centre retreating again, and Britain's taking up the advance here, and France is going to come back and fight for this hill. So we are going to see another. Here we go. A great volley. These boys, these redcoats, fighting for, well, they'd say they'd fight for liberty because they'd say that the French are tyrants, but I mean the French would also say that the aristocrats of Britain and such else are the tyrants, really. So I guess both sides are fighting against tyranny, they believe. But yeah, I mean the French over here have a decent amount of troops now. I mean they've got troops positioned in literally every direction, preparing for some sort of assault, but yeah, no such assault has come yet. No such assault has come yet. There you go. Got there eventually. The French try to assault again on this side. Yeah, you can see the British. Look at the British up there. They've got such a nice position. Not taking too many casualties. Well, I don't know. They're taking a few here and there. just looking sometimes, just watching it, the battle do its bit. It's so good. It's so nice. Another volley. There we go. I have just seen on the minimap there is still forces over here in the forest. You can see they are coming forward. The Portuguese, I think, just retreated. They are still very much here. So France was right to keep troops here. Yeah, there's all these Caçadores. They're still here. So I mean, if they had pushed down this down the centre, they may have been able to split the these Portuguese from the rest of their comrades. But France decided not to take the chance. And France has also again been pushed back from his hill. Look at him, he's retreating in column now. Oh, he's going to try and go round the hill. Looks like he's going to go and try and go round, which is not a bad idea. But Britain is prepared. He's got redcoats ready. We've got the rifles are back. We've got dragoons as well. So they were ready for this. I mean, what I'd do is maybe charge this rifle, route it, and then charge into the flank of this Portuguese unit. Here we go, a charge by this Grenadier line, a really good unit to send throw in. 84 out of 85, it's very fresh then. They're in the line. They should win this fight. If the Grenadiers lose this fight, I'll be very upset. Because they should still be pretty strong. Well, Cavalry coming around the flank though. There you go, broke them. Grenadiers need to go into another unit now. I'd go on to the British. Like, keep going up the hill. There you go. British cav coming in. Light Dragoons, they're going to go after the French infantry there. It's already on low morale, look at that. They probably get both these units. Yeah, there's one. They'll get the other one for sure. They need more, they need some of these to form a square, but we've got cavalry here arriving, we've got some Dragoons arriving. The Grenadiers broke, sadly. We've got some light infantry here as well to go in. Do their bit, but I mean they're not on great morale either. They're getting shot in the back by rifles. And there you go, the Dragoons broke instead of the light Dragoons. So this actually might be the chance for Britain to take the offensive. Jean-Baptiste with his tiny little Dragoon unit. I mean the French here, as you can see, clearly none of these units can form a square. Look at that, the French centre's gone. Or part of the French centre is gone. This like left of centre is like gone. This army now is very much isolated. I mean, look how much infantry is like back here. So much. We've got sappers, more Laguerre. They might want to send this infantry, like send this forward to try and help that ally. Why was this not like around? It was certainly like this far back. It can't pressure this infantry or anything here. So all of this is now able to come over and like attack the French. Like, even if you're not going to commit your infantry, you can't keep it this far back. Because it's no longer, it's not a threat. And in NTW3, it takes so long to get things to move forward and get to, like, to the front. So Britain's got ages to kind of wrap around and do as much damage as possible to the French. Luckily, a lot of this infantry is returning. But once it's broken once, it's kind of already, like, finished. And this French army over here is having a rough time as well. Look at that. Heavy brigade broken. The French just not interested. They're going to keep retreating. It's what they've been doing all game. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. They need to make one concentrated push somewhere. Really brought down their gun. They wheeled this right down. 8-pounder. I mean, it's not on a bad angle to shoot all those Portuguese over there, I guess. It's gonna volley. Volley for the troops. Come on, boys. it's kind of gone like way off over there somewhere. But as you can see, I mean, Britain still holds the heights. They kind of hold the centre. The French obviously have sort of regrouped, but they're not the force that they used to be. They didn't actually rout this light dragoon, which is good. Chasseur Cheval doing the job. They are now bringing over a very substantial force, though. So, I mean, this force here might be able to do some damage. But I presume, having seen a few glimpses, there's a fairly substantial force of British here. And we've got, you can see some. There's certainly a couple more units here. So, I mean, they're gonna be having a decent scrap there for a little while to come. I mean, this French force here. I mean, there's like some of these Portuguese and British forces are getting thin on the ground now. They surely can start thinking about breaking through. They look still very healthy over here, though. Like, these Portuguese units are huge still. The Portuguese, I think, have done a really good job. Really, really good job. Well trained by Beresford, clearly. There we go. Yeah, like one volley. Look, does so much damage to this demi brigade. And it's broken it. Look at that. Breaks it. I mean, it is a demi brigade, like, provisional unit. So I guess it's not like a properly kit out unit. These Laguerre, though. I mean, the Laguerre, which are usually like so reliable, usually do so well. They're having a rough time. And there we go, more Ryan French. Louis-Joseph Vichery. What have we got here? The second demi brigade, another provisional unit. Yep, the French are going to retreat again. On all fronts. They make some moves, and then they have to retreat. I'd be kind of interested to see whether the British could have actually been aggressive this entire game. I think maybe it could have been. We're going to see some hussars, in fact. Not Chasseur Cheval. But we're going to see these hussars probably try and race the hill, try and take these skirmishers out. I'm sure most of these British can form square. They aren't going to save the skirmishers, but they will get repulsed, I'm sure. Well, actually, you know what? They may have saved the skirmishers. Well, maybe not. The hussars got routed, but they couldn't save their riflemen either. I mean, they saved one, but not all of them. And yeah, I'm still kind of waiting to see what happens with this French army here. It's just kind of sat here the entire game. It's not really done a lot. I mean, there's still British. You can see the British troops waiting for them. Highlanders here. Oh boy, the Scotsmen are here. That's not a good sign. I did wonder if they'd be on this battlefield, and they are. So obviously that's a nasty unit. I mean, I can see why the French are quite willing to sit back, shoot what British units they can see, but especially with what's going on further down the battle line, like the French, which look overwhelming. Oh god, happened again. Oh, for God's sake. So annoying when this happens. Anyway, what I was trying to say before I clicked and just move. Oh, here we go. We've got a British cavalry charge, in fact. We'll watch this. Hussars come forward. They're going to go for this gun. No, they're not. They're going to go for infantry and break, in fact. Because they couldn't decide what they wanted to go for. Anyway, what I was trying to say before I before I didn't even hit the map. You can see, I know we can't see the entire British army, but certainly over here where you can see like the blue squares, blue units of the British and Portuguese. You can't see their entire army, but I honestly think that might be their entire force. There is a bit over here, I know, which is like the Caçadores just pinning down like this right flank. But like this front line here, if we look at just this, that will be it, I bet. I bet there's no reserves behind there. So the French really overwhelmingly have more troops than, like, if they actually pushed hard here, left maybe a bare bones defense, push really hard here, they could maybe break through. But to be honest, I forgot what my point was. But I think like the British in some areas could be broken. I think they could be broken. I don't even think that's what my point was. Certainly here, I don't think there's much more, but like, I know there's troops like to the right here, which are sort of supporting occasionally, but certainly here, if we just look at like where my cursor is, like just everything between this gap here and here, that is like nothing. The French can break through this. And currently now, I guess the French are playing they're playing a very tough game of wearing the British down, certainly wearing them down out of cavalry. Things like, certainly particularly cavalry, we'll use that as an example. The British cavalry is clearly much more superior to the French here today. And it kind of was in history as well. So, they're kind of having to wear it down, and once they've worn it down, I bet the French can make a good infantry push with a bit of support of cavalry. And they could maybe take this hill back. And if they can take this hill back, they split this army here. Like that, the right flank of here, which is mainly made up of Portuguese troops. Well, actually, their left flank, French right, is made up of Portuguese. That will have to fall back, like all the way back here. And then this British force here in the town will have to turn, and then this French force can come swinging in. I think this hill's actually very, very key. If they can take that hill back, the French, and actually put a lot of forces on it and hold it, that could change the battle in favour of the French. What is this unit back here is what I want to know. This is a 270-man unit of... It's a corps provisional of infantry, okay. We've got a lot of cav still. I think the French had more cav, and, I mean, that's good. They're going to need it, because theirs is worse, I think. And that's going to kind of be how they're going to have to wear them down a bit. Just setting up their inferior cav, but more of it, to just wear stuff down. I may be wrong, they may not. There's a cavalry fight going on over this far side, actually, now. Well, it looks like we're about to see a cavalry fight. Yeah, actually, British guns being attacked by French cav, and there's no one to defend Wellington really by this square, I think. So they're going for Wellington, and the square's not going to be able to really protect. This unit can just flank all the way around. If this French cav can stay alive, they can really. Oh, it's a shame. If that French cav could have survived, they could have got Wellington. But yeah, you can see this one's going to try and skirt the square as much as possible and go for Wellington. And like, there's a bit of British infantry out here that's been forced back, or whether it's started there, I don't know. But yeah, this French. Oh yeah, Wellington's definitely escaped this. Definitely escaped. I mean, he's not even chasing when it's the French cav. He's just staying way behind. And looks like Britain's gonna have to make an offensive over here. Here we go. I do apologise if I still sound like I have a cold. It's because I do. Oh, that French Dragoon returned as well. That's huge. There's now 2 units to chase down Wellesley, or potentially. But yeah, I still have a cold, unfortunately. So hopefully my commentating's not been too awful and to just sound like I've got a cold the entire time. But yeah, British rifles here setting up. They're doing their bit. But yeah, I mean, looking at the map, it's kind of actually a mirror image on this side. You can see British infantry behind the French lines. You've got French cav behind the French lines on this side. Yeah, it seems like the centre's kind of coming to a standstill. Neither side's really making much ground. It's gonna be the flanks where it's decided, it seems. And we've got look at this, Portuguese infantry, and we've got some cavalry over here pushing forward. These Caçadores finally coming out of the woods. It looks like we've got Portuguese cav to support them. And they're going to make a push here. And there's no infantry to protect them. It's just cavalry and a gun. That is it. This is the entire flank of the British. This could be huge. These 4 units here kind of getting forgotten about by the French, who shifted everything kind of the centre. And here we go. Are they going to go in and try and take out this cav? I mean, infantry support, you imagine the Portuguese are going to win. I mean, not when they're shooting their own cav, but you never know. And the Portuguese cav broke really quickly. That's a shame. The French may break because of the squares. And there you go. The Dragoon's going to retreat. But the main threat has been broken, and that was the Portuguese cav. I guess they worried that could rush the guns. This infantry should be able to get across and maybe counter the British infantry or the Austrian. Oh, but went through nearly every faction there. The Portuguese. Don't know why I thought Austrian. Maybe because they're in brown. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it's kind of slowed down a bit. I'm kind of expecting it to speed up soon. We've not got much, like too much time left in the battle, and there's a lot of troops left, is what I'm thinking. Here we go, though. Seems like we're going to see some sort of a line battle over here. We are already seeing shots being fired here by the French. And I'm sure Britain will return the favour and send a few volleys back. There you go. I mean, that's 6 against 5. I guess the British have slight advantage in firepower. I'm really worried about these dragoons behind them. And they've got more dragoons there. I don't know. Oh, good cavalry charge here. They're going to actually catch this British unit out. Kind of before it forms square. Though it still forms square. That's so annoying, I think. That's something that... I don't know if NTW3 can change that. But if you catch them in square before they go to form square... Like... You should, like, the unit should stop forming square. It's like in any total war. Like, if you try and form shield wall or pike phalanx and you get caught out, like, trying to form it, usually the formation never forms. If you can do that with squares, that is so handy. Because a cavalry unit, when charging an infantry square that's forming up, and it fails to form, in reality, like, the infantry wouldn't try and then continue to form square. They'd, like, fight for their lives. Which I just think is a little bit unrealistic. Oh, the French cav over here trying to do a rear charge. Kind of failed. That's a shame. But it seems like we're going to have French infantry going in. Going into the line. Going into the line going in. And more grenadiers, but they get broken before they get there. No, and these ones get broken as well. That's a shame. If these guys could have like timed it with the cavalry arriving, they would have done a perfect job. That would have been great. But they didn't quite time it just quite right. Look at this. The cavalry's still going in. Dragoons. I think they could have gone in for this unit, you know. That didn't form square. I had no intention of forming square. It's going to fire volleys at the French. The French breaking here. Laguerre breaking. I mean, here we go. This is a bit of a trouble. This is a bit of a problem here for the British. They need to push this dragoon in, and he can't just carry on sitting here. He needs to go for something. Go for this British infantry here. It's forming square. Oh no, or not. It formed square. Got line infantry now in, and they're going to fight the British infantry. Good charge. And there comes the French cav. Breaks that unit. That's really good. And now we have a huge mass charge here by the French. Bayonets out. And glistening. Covered in blood, I'm sure. French cav breaking. Kind of expected. British infantry being broken here. This is a good little bit of success here for the French. They've actually broken all these units here. They may be able to catch these two. But they have taken a lot of casualties over here. A lot of French units breaking. Or getting battered. So, I mean, that's really good. A nice little bit of success here. And then over on this right flank. I mean, the French have the numbers here now. I mean, they should. And they seem like they've maybe got the cavalry advantage. There's 2 against 1. I mean, this is the Dragoon Guard, though. So, I mean, who knows? That probably could just take on about everything that the French cav throw at it. But, yeah, they have the... I mean, France had the numbers in a few scenarios, though, and not really taking advantage or has been beaten back. So... we'll have to see whether they can take advantage here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Where are these men fatigued? Oh, all the way over here. This is the Grenadiers, the line returning. I mean, that's good that they've returned. Need this other one to return as well. Need every Grenadier back. Oh, they've actually managed to charge these Highlanders. Look at this. No, the Highlanders are breaking. Not my brave Scotsmen. They're gone. Right. well, I mean, there's now more British and Portuguese troops coming up. This is good. These are relatively healthy. These clearly came from that small town over there. These guys got to hold off. Well, I wouldn't say a horde of French, but it certainly is. This British force in. Look at this. The British got like in between. What has happened here? This is a big British unit as well. Look at this. Yeah, the French are kind of almost getting encircled themselves. Like, you can see. They're in the red, and they're kind of getting surrounded, certainly here. They were the ones surrounding the British, and now they're actually kind of getting surrounded themselves. They've been lured away. What is I can hear someone charging. I think it's just the French infantry. Yeah, these guys are running. Oh, they've caught them. Really nice. Really nice. I mean, they're running away, so this is good for the French. They might break this Portuguese unit. That's the most likely they're going to break. Yeah, morale for that one just drops a lot quicker than the... Well, this British one's not liking it as much either. Yeah, it's... I mean, French dragoons coming over. But yeah, the British are actually kind of like...
The men are fatigued.
They're shadowing this French force, put it like that. Trying to catch them. Oh yeah, these Portuguese, they're not getting out of here alive. Run! Run, my Portuguese boys! Oh, they break. This British, it looks like this British one might get away. There you go. They're gonna get away. But, well, actually, I say that. Did they just turn around? They did. Like, because two men got caught, you'd leave those two men to die. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, that's cost them quite a lot of the British, but I feel like the British have done a good amount of damage here. Like, they've got another, what, 8 units here, 9 units? They're going to, like, then pin down, what, 5 French units? 6. Over here, kind of evened up, but the French kind of been, like, pushed way out of where they started. So, I mean, this seems like the French army over here kind of getting encircled slightly. Not, like, very effectively. There are ways, obviously, out, but they are kind of getting shadowed from nearly every angle. We're going to see a charge here on some Portuguese boys. This grenadier is going to be gunned down, and it breaks on impact. That is a shame. Let's go back to the center, where it seems like, look at this, the French cavalry coming forward. It's standing right in front of the... What are you doing? It's suicidal. Just standing right in front of infantry. Yeah, they break on impact. If they charged in, they may have been actually, you know, able to do some damage. The French have really nearly retaken this hill. They can push up, they can take it. But it seems like the British gave it to them. The French on this side have been broken. Like the Portuguese Caçadores here, broken. What is left? Some grenadiers alive, that's it. So I'd say that the French are kind of beat. The French seem beat. I mean, I personally think they were beaten as soon as, like, this disastrous sort of hill assault happened over here. I mean, there's been several. Certainly when the British came down the hill and, like, routed the entire centre, I felt like that was kind of game for the French. They were going to need to pull a bit of a miracle out, and they're getting routed as they charge in. There you go. Routing line infantry. All routing line infantry. And I mean, the French here in retreat. I mean, honestly, the British should be aggressive now. Just be aggressive. This line infantry needs to come forward here. 270 boys. They need to be in the fight now. Britain, again, on this side, I'd say could be aggressive. I don't think there's anywhere that they couldn't be. They clearly have the better infantry. France may have been debuffed maybe slightly too hard. Either that or they need to debuff the British. One or the other. They gotta maybe buff the French back up a little bit. Light infantry though. I don't know. Maybe this Macena Portugal army is just pretty terrible. I know that obviously, like, the army of Portugal is not that great. It's not the finest French army in the world, but yeah, they kind of routed everything over here. But I mean, certainly when they're getting kind of beaten by Portuguese infantry is a little bit concerning. And beaten by them decisively in some areas. That's a little bit concerning. I don't know. Didn't kind of sit with me well. These are like grenadiers for Portugal. They look it. They might be grenadiers. I'm not really sure. They look good though. I certainly think they like grenadiers. I like it kind of went British infantry, French infantry, Portuguese infantry, Spanish infantry. That was the order of quality. I'd say Portuguese were trained, obviously trained by the British. They were good, but I don't think they were good as the British. They fought well in several battles. I'll give them that. I just still think that like French infantry would beat them. But as you can see on the map, like the battle line has gone all over the place now. The blue obviously being the British. They pushed back the French way, way, way over here. Actually, the French kind of like are the ones being, yeah, like they're rushing for like La Pinilla over here by the looks of it, like this town. They're getting chased. I don't know how they kind of swapped sides, but they managed it. And well, everywhere else is kind of like the British have held and repulsed the French. And that's kind of it. Like that's how the battle's gone. The French, I feel like, were a bit indecisive in some areas. I honestly think as well that they try to stretch out the lines, obviously quite a lot. Maybe if they kind of like concentrated on a push somewhere, whether it was this hill, whether it was, I don't know, on that road, try and split the armies, they could have done it. I don't know. This gun may want to turn. It's literally got infantry ahead of it. There are bigger problems, boys. There's literally infantry right ahead of you. Well, I guess actually there's infantry all around them. Here we go. Big. Look at this. This is a fresh dragoon unit. It's going to have to go in. Look at this. All these units forming square. Portuguese are about as well trained as the British, and they all form square. They broke this one. Let's see. Look at that. They managed to break this unit, even though it forms square, because it charged and as it forms square. If you hit a unit as it's still forming square, you've not formed square. They should break. And they did, so that's good. Are we seeing the French make a last stand over here? It looks it. Yeah, French making a last stand. Rip in peace. It's been a hard fought battle, boys, but you just couldn't break through. I mean, these guys technically broke through, I guess, but it only helped that the British army was behind them already. Yeah, it's, I mean, Wellington's done well here today. He's going to have an emphatic victory.
Our men are running.
One to be remembered. Or at least I think he is. I mean, unless France can somehow pull out the greatest comeback of all time, we're going to see the French lose again. Yeah, honestly, Britain, they should just start to yeah, push on this hill, take this French army out.
Our men are running, sir.
I just like how the French all got like mixed matched like uniforms. They clearly like can't decide whether they're fighting in winter or just fighting in summer. The cavalry. The French had a lot of frustration with the cavalry today. With a lot of units being able to form square, they kind of like, well, yeah, just not had any joy. All these units just like, look at that, stops the cavalry charge, which otherwise should have done quite a bit of damage. Well, I mean, they kind of, like, I like how the physics works, because they knocked that unit back. That square is technically now broken. You could get cavalry in that, and you could do a lot of damage in reality. Which is just quite funny, but and even when you form a square, like it's not an impenetrable way to
the men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Stop cavalry. Like cavalry that hits a square with enough force will still break it. Happened at Salamanca. The British cavalry charged French squares. The heavy dragoons charged squares. The first like line got hit, and like all the horses fell onto the French infantry. Oh, there you go. That unit broke. Wasn't even like being attacked. I should get hit by guns. It did. It got hit by guns. Wow. But yeah, the cavalry, like the first line of cavalry, got hit by the musket fire. They fell onto like the square, and then the next line jumped the square. So, and then got inside, and then they broke it from the inside out. So it is possible. I know you couldn't really replicate that, but I feel like squares should not be almost like impenetrable to cavalry. Like if they hit it with enough force, you can still break a square. Like especially if it's heavy cavalry, even dragoons, if they hit like a unit that I wouldn't say is very good in square, they should still break it, like in the right circumstances. I know that's again. I'm saying that as though it's easy to like replicate. It's probably not. It's probably almost impossible. But I just think that like once the unit forms square, like it's safe, and it's when really in reality in Napoleonic Wars, it was probably like 70% safe, but there's still a decent chance that you could probably be broken. And that's what like dragoon units got to like try and believe at this point now, is that there is a chance that they could break a square. In reality, there probably isn't. Now we've got the Highlanders going in. They're going to round this. I mean, I'm chatting just rubbish because the battle's kind of over now. And also the British are just forming so many squares. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 squares here. It's making one mega square. It's a rectangle. Look at this, the dragoons are inside the square. They should break the square. This is what I mean. Like this square, that should be dead. That should, like, as soon as cavalry gets inside your square, that's it. You're game over. You're probably in trouble.
The men are fatigued.
I'm impressed that this dragoon unit's got out of here with healthy numbers and also not broken. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they should not. That square should be dead. That got broken through. It actually is going to form line. It's gonna get charged. But at least it looks it. But yeah, the French infantry gets beaten. I mean, it looks like it's just been like looks like this Highlander unit here has just run down the entire line. I mean, there's a bit of French infantry left, including the 270-man unit. But that's it. The main force of French is now over here, which is still alive. I don't think they're gonna beat it in time because the French over here, they've managed to hold on to their army. They're kind of holding the hill. Portugal here is just not wanting to push up the hill. He has no need to either, really. They're going to win the battle. Even though, let's say it's a draw, the British have won in my eyes. I guess you could say that's Foy's division over there. I mean, it's more than a division in troops. But you could say that was Foy's troops that somehow survived. Not quite intact, but, you know, they've survived. Everyone else's divisions kind of got beaten up in reality. But I'm going to just fast forward because there's not really much to look at now. It's just a little bit of fighting here and there. What is going on all the way over here? Oh, there's still British infantry. We've still got like Laguerre and some line infantry there causing some issues for the British. I'm sure they'll break first. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, this unit's doing well. This unit is actually a very elite unit, even for its size. Usually size means, well, you break quicker, but it seems that in this case, its size means they're very, very elite. They've been hit a few times at least, anyway. And they seem to be doing okay. Though there is so many men in the unit, maybe it just takes quite a while to break it. 220 odd men left. Oh, the French came down off their hill. Well, that's good. I mean, they're going to die coming off their hill. They should have stayed there and just waited for the end of the battle. But they are, in fact, going to be brave boys, and they're going to come down and battle the British one last time. They've got Laguerre here still fighting on. They've seen a lot of hard battles, and in like 8.9 they would have been fine. Today, not so much. 9.0. There's a new top dog. It's Britain. I'd like to see how France does against the Russians and the Austrians now that they've had a debuff. I still think they're going to be better because I think their cavalry, obviously, A is better. And oh, look at this. The Castadores is flanking him behind. Got like the guns being required. Also, like more of their units can form square. It's still Austria, certainly, especially, struggles with that issue of not a lot of units can form square. Russia, not as much, but still quite considerably. So that hopefully will give them the advantage certainly in that, and I think that's okay because the British were superior. Like had the superior army probably out of it was a small army, but it was well trained, or relatively well trained and well disciplined compared to like the rest of Europe's armies, and it won most of its battles in the campaigns that it fought in. While the Austrians and the Russians kind of had 50-50 luck. But yeah, that's kind of the battle. We'll just fast forward now till
The men are fatigued, sir,
till the
and
timer
must rest
runs
a
out.
while.
We have a good 10 seconds. That's it. And yeah, that's kind of been the Battle of Salamanca. And it seems like the French are going to lose once again. They're going to just charge in as well by the looks of it. And there we go, a draw. I can't remember exactly who was in this battle, but it was Johnny that sent this one in. So thank you very much, Johnny, for sending this one in. I don't know why this is an issue. I don't like that can't see anything. But yeah, so we'll have a quick look at some of the kills. Yeah, nothing too insane here really because the French just struggled. 76 being the most kills for any unit. That was a line infantry. That's a real shame. That yeah, like nothing really did that well. That is surprising as hell. But I'm sure that like the French probably outnumber. Actually, I imagine the French may have outnumbered the British, and the British probably have taken less casualties. I am sure. The French just had no chance. Had really no chance. But yeah, well done to all the players that took part. You know who you are. I do apologize. I'll have to start because I have to remember now that this is not like this list does not come up. I'll have to write down who everyone took part in it. But yeah, thank you for all that did take part, and thank you for Johnny for sending this replay in. I know him and his NTW3 crew do some great scenarios. So if you want to get involved, do let me know. Join the Discord because they've got a great community over there, and they do some really fun battles. But yeah, that was the Battle of Salamanca. France has been beaten, and the peninsula is slowly being liberated by the British Army. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.